Okay, so in the first part of this video topic, I was describing how your higher self is using your lower self to fetch energy or light or loosh for it, or information. And this ensures that you can be in both states at one time. So you can be at the highest seat of your universe. You can be the basically, I'm going to describe in immortal terms, you're God using your mortal form to fetch you things like energy, information, stories, things like that. And we all do this. And in games and play nets like this, because the planet is a play net, we just basically interact with our clones. It's almost like a virtual reality. I don't remember what the kids call it, but like a virtual hand. So basically, my virtual hand is playing with your virtual hand, and we wrestle in, this illusion of, division, and by fighting with each other, we actually generate energy for our higher selves. You have to understand video games in order to understand the universe. It's a multi-level, multiplayer, multi-platform video game, technically. Not a simulation. You are the entire program playing games. But the reason why I made this second part is because I had this new knowledge that came in that basically said, I can't remember what it said, that basically said that this is almost like a play, like a choir. Okay, so for any of you guys that participated in a choir or a play in your life, or some sort of enactment where you were acting out a part, do you remember how you first read the script and you're like, all right, I get it, kind of, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And then the teacher says, all right, so let's go ahead and run through the roles. So then you kind of run through the roles. And then, that would be like the first clone of you is basically just reading the script and trying to figure out what their script is. That's why some of the humans that you see around you are a little bit more humble. Now, as you go through the script more confidently, you become more confident. And the teacher at some point in time says, all right, now I want you guys to really be in the role, to really be into that character. Or, if you're part of a choir, they say, she says, all right, one more time from the top, with more gusto, more conviction. Like you really get into that role, okay? And then you kind of, all right, I'm going to read the script and really, really get into that role. And, so then you kind of enact it. And then if you have a really good, drama teacher or choir director, then that person's going to say, all right, now I want you to really, really feel it. And I want you to really go at each other. And, it's like, I'm not just going to give you a fake weapon. I'm going to give you a real weapon. And you guys can go at each other and just fucking kill each other. And, it's almost like the more you get into this wonderful character, the more energy you collect for your higher self. And that's exactly how it is. And now at this point in time, this playnet has become so old that people are really getting into their character with conviction. It's not just, I'm just gonna play fight here, like, I'm gonna touch you, and now I'm just gonna, I'm gonna hit you. Now it's more like, I'm gonna fucking kill you, So we have stepped it up. Now, as we step it up, the playnet itself, and this is the reason why I did part 2. This could technically be part 3, but the playnet itself developed its own consciousness and said, hold on, bitches, you guys can use my stage, but I take a toll. So as I take a toll, this playnet actually is looshing us. So now it's become, the players versus the stage versus the venue. And for some of you guys that have done like traveling theater or things like that, that people at some point in time, when you get good, they're going to want to cut. And that's exactly what's going on right now. So now the planet, the venue, is dictating what we're doing here. So at some point in time, Mother Earth had this free-for-all type consciousness where she allowed everybody to come here and play. But at some point in time, Mother Earth turned into this dark side that said, hold on, bitches, you're going to pay some toll. If you're going to play in this planet on this Earth, I want some too. Because I am collecting Loosh for my higher self as well. And we created this dark personality of this planet where it's looshing us. And the only way to really kind of win this war against this planet, the planet that is looshing us, that is extracting energy toll, is to not play. But sadly, there's a lot of fun things to do. There are a lot of fun things to do around here. So that's why you're going to always see a mix of information. So that's why the planet is not always going to give you bad things. It's going to give you something wonderful too, like nature, children, joy, laughter, that beautiful warm breeze on a cooler day, or a beautiful cool breeze on a hot day. You get some sunshine, you get some shade. So that's wonderful. So that's how it ensures that you're going to stay here. So remember how even I hate quoting and kind of biblical things, but remember it says God does not give you more than you can handle, because it doesn't. Because if you can't handle it, you're going to check out and never come back here again. You're going to go to a different planet, to a different app. And you even see things like, in Hollywood where, you have some dismal, grotesque bullshit that they're putting out. But it's mixed in with a little bit of happy, joy. So that's the thing. It's like this planet has insured its membership. It's like a club. And, they're players, they're actors that have belonged to this club over and over again. So they're getting good at it. You notice some of them are just not even making bones about it. Like, I'm just here to extract your energy or your money or whatever. And they're not even hiding it. So we call those ancient vampires because they've done this over and over and over again. And also, with this membership comes like a, secondary membership where you're kind of like, all right, you're going to be guaranteed that you're going to be wealthy. You're not going to have to worry about it. But the way you're going to pay to play is you're going to have to do some bullshit. You're going to have to be the energy collector. So now you're going up into the pyramid of this energy. So, I have a lot of friends that are super, super so-called wealthy. I say so-called because nobody's wealthy. Everybody's just equally broke because you really can't get ahead, only temporarily, because you are the universe balancing yourself out. So, your clone is harvesting, it's fetching Loosh for you, but you have to do other things for it. So now you have the middle management of the pyramid. They're running around disseminating disinformation and fear, because that's how they are collecting Loosh for their master. So they don't actually have to experience the fear and give the Loosh. They have to, convince other people to be fearful and donate their Loosh. Now you start seeing the game, and that's exactly what's happening in this planet. So I'm trying to download these videos, but it's almost impossible. My phone, I don't know about you guys, I have AT&T, and it's just crap lately. It's horrible. I get 1 bar in major cities, so I don't know what that is all about. So I don't know. It might be my code. And that's another thing too. When your higher self kicks in, it's starting to really overwhelm the lower self. It's kind of like when people say, who are you? I'm like, well, I'm many things to many people, depending on what platform you want to play. But the moment you really get in touch with your higher self, then you can't even explain that in mortal terms. Because yeah, I mean, I am Christina and I am this and I'm that, but at the same time my core is so activated. I'm not even human. So I mean, but that's the beauty about it. If you learn to balance it out, your lower self with your higher self, you get amazing, because you start almost becoming your own universe. You're cycling, you're siphoning that energy. It's almost like you are draining yourself. And it's so weird, because when I was young, I was thinking, why do people like sucking other people's blood? I'm like, that's disgusting. But yet I really, really love tasting my own blood. So that was interesting. But I now understand why, because it was a piece of information, like I call it a divine breadcrumb, that I left myself behind to understand that this is what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be on your higher self and on your lower self, and kind of become your own self-sufficient entity. It's like you're becoming your own soulmate. That's the reason why I have such problems with the term soulmate or twin flames, because it's a lower self program, not a higher self program. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this part 2, and I hope it's going to download someday before the next crisis. Oh, and don't worry about all these crises. You got to understand, this is what's called hologram for a king, which means that they're enacting some BS in order to fuel their king. And that's another thing too. At some point in time, some clones got together, or some higher selves even got together and decided to create this secret membership, through which they are, they're playing the game from a communal type perspective. So they're ensuring some sort of, what do you call it? Solidarity. So when one doesn't want to provide Loosh, the other one does. And that's what a lot of these so-called secret, clubs and societies have done, is that they're working together in order to obtain this Loosh. Now you start seeing the game? Yep. So let's play. Anyways, but yeah, don't worry about it. It's all fake. We are the universe playing games through our virtual reality lower selves. That's it. You're not going anywhere, and they're not going anywhere. You are at all places at the same time. So somehow this playnet has become popular because it's offered a platform in which people can really harvest and exchange some Loosh. And that's the reason why it's not going to go anywhere anytime soon. So yeah. Anyways, enjoy your day. Stay in peace.